Alright, I am still in my kitchen for this video. Yeah, it's messy, that's okay, that is life, and we're gonna deal with it. It has now been 2 years since I've been in school almost. I graduated college June of 2015, and so, or I guess May technically, May of 2015, and so I am done. But I was in school, I did 4 years of college, although I only got my associates, and obviously high school and all of that. And I didn't figure out what type of studying worked really well for me until my junior year of college. That's when I really figured stuff out, and I never really invested time into figuring out what helped me study. But now I know, and I do know that every single person studies completely different. So what works for me may not work for you, but I'm gonna give you kind of different tips that I did and that I've tried throughout time. I always started off with note cards. The only thing I didn't like about note cards is I hated the flipping back and forth. I wasn't a quiz myself type of person in that sense. I like to see it. I'm very visual. I like to connect the dots and see it. So I tried, and I did flashcards so many times throughout school, again and again, and they just didn't work for me. So then I just go through and do like normal notes, and that helped. But then it came to the point on the test where I would try to remember where on what paper something was, and I'd be like, okay, I remember there's some, like, this was here, but on which sheet of paper, and then that would confuse me. And so it was biology class actually that I started doing this, but biology of my junior year, I started just writing like everything on one sheet of paper, and I did front and back for this. And again, it was which side of the paper. So then I started writing, and I can write really small, and I have really good small eyesight. It's my far away that sucks, but I can see really close up. And so what I did was I'd write really small on one sheet of paper, and I unfortunately don't have any more of my notes. I got done with school and I threw those suckers away, but I would write really small and I would fill up the whole paper. I mean, I would, and I'd box topics in, and I'd draw lines, and I'd make everything connect. And I found that that really helped me because I'm visual, and I could almost, not quite photogenic memory, but I can look at the page and study it and know, like, okay, this talked about this topic on this bottom half of the page in this corner, that's where I wrote about this. And I was able to connect those dots, especially on things I didn't know, and I could use process of elimination for that. And that really helped me. I forgot and wanted to add in here that when I would do this, I would first write out my notes big and normal, and then I would write them again, taking out those filler words, making it so topics were either 3 to 4 words or 7 to 8 words, trying to keep them in small groups. And then I would again take out filler words until I had things like black and white enough that I could fit them on that one sheet of paper. Because if you write filler words in, there's no way you're gonna ever like get it all on one sheet. I also found that writing again and again also helped me in learning the topic. The more I wrote it, the more it got engraved in my brain. I didn't use color coding very often with this. Sometimes I did, just to change topic ideas, but most of the time when I was studying, I was going fast and I was just writing so I could get down to like actually studying for the test. And that's the best way that I learned how to study for myself. Sometimes highlighters and multicolored pens did help me for things that changed a lot of topics, or stuff like in anatomy when I had to learn like the certain functions of certain systems and things like that, where it was really like, here's that like question answer type things. For those, color coding really helped me because I was able to put like, the circulatory system and then in one color and what it did in the next, and it laid out like that for me. So those were the biggest like handwriting ways that I studied. I didn't start doing this one either until my last year of school, but the other thing that I found that really helped me was I had this microbiology teacher, and he freaking sucked at teaching. Like, no idea what he said. And microbiology is like this crazy topic, and it's just so little, and it's just everything just seemed like a foreign language to me, honestly. Like, and so I never understood what he was saying. I couldn't listen. The way that he talked was not the way my brain wanted to listen, and I also didn't do well with the way that the book explained it. So what I actually started doing was I would YouTube, amazing YouTube, the topic, and I would find that there were so many other ways that teachers would explain stuff, and they would upload it with visuals and guides and all this stuff to YouTube, and that literally saved my butt in biology. I had like no clue what that guy was talking about ever, but then when I'd hear, there was one person that I found for my microbiology section on YouTube that I found I really could understand what they said, and the way they visually explained everything with like their arrows and drawing pictures and stuff totally was my way of learning. Like, I understood them, and that literally saved my honey. Like, I would have totally bombed that class if it wasn't for that. So YouTube was my number 2 like huge thing when it came to studying. In my psychology class, they always said that it was important that you study in different spots. Like, most of us have like our room or our couch, like someplace that we always studied. And they actually say that like your brain then begins to associate the information with that area. And so when you start studying in different locations, different places in your house, at school, outside, you know, the library, all these different places, when you're studying one topic in all those places, your brain starts that, rather than associating everything to one spot, it's growing in your brain to associate to more areas, making it almost more likely that you can remember stuff. So there's another tip. I actually did that a lot in college, between my dorm, Sky's dorm, my friend's dorm. Sometimes we'd study, you know, outside and stuff like that. Eventually Sky and I had our apartment, so studying there compared to school and class, all of those places, I did notice that I was able to memorize stuff a little bit better with that one. I didn't try it in high school. I was a in my own bedroom type of person in high school, so yeah, so anyways, there are my studying tips for you guys. That was really ranty, and it was hard to explain, especially not having any of my notes anymore, but I hope you guys enjoyed it so much. Thank you a million times for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you have any studying tips, leave them below, and we will see you next time. Bye, you guys.